Hey guys, since we're talking Fisker shares, let's get the YouTube disclaimer out of the way. None of my statements or content constitute professional advice. Viewers that follow any advice, instructions, or suggestions do so at their own risk. And of course, that's the way that it has to be because you are responsible for your own actions. You can listen to me, but at the end of the day, you have to make up your own mind and be able to sleep well at night. Wow, would you look at that? Fisker has made yet another 52-week low. And while some people have written Fisker off, I was purchasing more shares today. Let's find out why. Hey guys, welcome to my Ocean One channel. I wanted to get on here and talk for just a few minutes. Hopefully I won't make this too long, but I have a few things that I want to say because, Fisker made a new 52-week low today, and we've been making low after low after low. And I think if you just look at the share price, you're like, Fisker's done, man. Fisker's toast. There is no recovery from here. But let's think about this. The major reason that I think, personally, that the Fisker share price has just been absolutely decimated is because of two events. One, the note holder. The note holder has just diluted the daylights out of us. And as soon as we file the 10K, that should be over. And we expect that to happen on, by, or before this Friday, because Fisker has told us that they will file the 10K or expect to file the 10K by March the 15th, which is this Friday. So if that happens, that should stop the selling pressure on the stock. So what did I do today? I purchased more shares to try to take advantage of the low share price and to lower my average. Now, some people will look at that and they will simply say, that's not too smart. But if I truly thought that Fisker was not going to survive, I would sell and I would never look back. I would, no doubt about it. Now, this may not play out the way that I expect it, but I think once the 10K is filed, that removes a huge burden from the share price. And then another reason that I think that we have simply been decimated recently, in addition to the note holder, is the ongoing concern that we released when we did our conference call. You have an ongoing concern, and that looks like, we simply don't have enough cash to last the year. And if we don't have a lot of sales, yes, that would be true. But if we get the Nissan dealership, maybe I shouldn't say dealership, the Nissan partnership, however we should word that, and they pony up, let's say, $400 or $500 million, that removes two albatrosses, from around our neck. We get the 10K filed, we stop the dilution, and we get a cash infusion from Nissan. And the threat of bankruptcy is pretty much removed as long as we can sell Oceans. And I drive an Ocean every day, and I'm in the process of doing a series of reviews on it, and then I'm eventually going to do an overall comprehensive review because I want to do the Ocean justice. And I feel like so many reviewers out there, they get it for a day, they get it for two, and they don't know the Ocean. And, they like certain things about it, and they've not had time to learn it, and, they complain about this and complain about that. But I've driven 5,300 miles in the Ocean, and they've all been pretty fantastic, so I really enjoy driving that thing. Now, another thing that I want to talk about is fear. The market is full of fear. If you take the psychology of an investor, and the share price is going up, however small, most investors feel pretty good, and they'll buy shares on up days. But if the share price is going down, no matter how small, people are less likely to buy the stock. And I think that's just the psychology of an investor, and I try not to let that influence me. And what I actually try to do is I actually try to purchase shares on down days. I keep buying what I think is probably the low. And, I bought shares today at 30, what did I buy? 37 cents is where I purchased most of my shares today. And then I picked up a few right around the 34-cent range. So, I'm not I'm not afraid to buy here. I think this will work out. Now, that's just my opinion. It may not. But as long as Fisker doesn't go bankrupt, I think, 10xing here is easy. I think 15xing here is easy. I think 20x from here is very realistic if we just go out, a year's time, because we will have a lot of revenue as long as, we are selling oceans, as long as demand for the ocean is there. I have no worries about bankruptcy at all. Let's just think of this and put it in historical perspective. Did people buy shares at 15? Yes, no. What about 10? Yes, no. What about 5? Yes, no. And the thing is, Fisker traded for basically 3 years, full years, without any sales. None. Hadn't sold a car. And now we're selling them. The question really just becomes is how quickly are we selling them? Now, I'm willing to bet, and I'm willing to take a strong guess that Q1 of 2024 is probably going to be Fisker's weakest quarter. I actually think it will probably be weaker than Q4 of 2023. And at first glance, that might be a reason, to be bearish on the stock or simply sell the stock. But I don't think it's going to play out that way. I think we're going to have enough catalyst, that I could run through that could potentially dramatically increase the share price. So what I'm looking for is several events that are catalyst that could easily make a move on the share price. So I'm just going to run through a few here very quickly. And I actually did a video over this, and I'd actually encourage you to watch it if you haven't. First, we file the 10K. Now, I think these will go in the order that I'm saying here, but this is just speculation on my part. We file the 10K this week, maybe Friday, okay? Then we get a Nissan partnership announcement, probably, okay? I'm thinking that's probably next. That comes with a large investment in Fisker. These things could dramatically rally the stock. Fisker goes further by making a strategic partnership with dealerships, encouraging them to join Fisker and sell Oceans. Now, that could be Nissan, that could be other dealerships. We know that Fisker is currently restricted from purchasing shares. We know that they're in a blackout period. That's public knowledge. If we get the news on an OEM partner and that lifts all the restrictions, I would expect to see open purchases at these levels. The problem with that projection is there's no guarantees that they completely come out of a blackout period. I think if they do, though, I think Fisker will show open purchases there. And, we continue to sign up dealers. That's another catalyst for the stock. Dealers make large purchases for inventory. That's another catalyst for the stock. Hopefully, Fisker hires a dedicated COO. That would be another catalyst for the stock. And then hopefully Fisker just executes well. Now, I'm willing to grant a little reprieve here for Q1. I do think Q1's probably going to be our weakest quarter, just because we're in a transition period, moving to the dealers. And I do think things are just going to be a little slower than normal for Q1. So I'm going to end the video by simply asking you, the audience, a question. What kind of investor are you? Have you given up on Fisker? If you have, absolutely. Sell, never look back. Never regret that decision. If you don't think Fisker is going bankrupt and you fall into that camp, like I do personally, this is a great place to lower your average, increase your share count, and take the risk, take the bet that many of these catalysts turn out to be true, and we get a pretty good run on the share price, and we remove bankruptcy. I think all Fisker has to do is remove bankruptcy. So, what kind of investor are you? Were you willing to purchase when we didn't have sales? And now are you not willing to purchase when we do have sales? I find that kind of thinking, rather irrational from an investor's point of view. Now, I understand. People are down a lot of money. I am too. Could things go wrong? Absolutely. But I think there's a lot less that could go wrong now with sales and a good product than, could have ever gone wrong, say a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Those were where the really big risks were. So personally, I think Fisker has been beaten down artificially, and I think this is the time to stack up on the shares. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying my content. And if you are, just like and subscribe. Always like the videos because that helps other people find my content. That helps the YouTube algorithms. So I do appreciate that. And until next time, and thanks for watching.